Welcome back to Blast Guys Reviews. This is Saturday Toy Discussion, episode 18. This is going to be a jam-packed episode of information and pickups and, what I'm seeing out there, So if you guys don't know, this is a series I'm doing on my channel that, on our day off, we take a look back, we rewind to the previous week, what came out, what I picked up, what I'm experiencing, and just sharing out there with the community and some information. So if you feel free to go ahead and just join in the conversation in the comments if you have any questions or comments. We all are listening. So with that being said, let's get started. So here before you, you can see three figures. You're probably wondering, okay, what these figures all have in common. Well, as a collector, I think we all are going to experience a shakeup, or possibly a shakeup, in 2025. Each one of these figures represents something. And what we're going to talk about is something that can turn our collecting, what we're used to, upside down. It could stay the same, or it can really hinder our collections. So if you haven't heard, in 2025, DC, Marvel, and Hasbro, all the toy licenses are up for grabs. So McFarlane, their DC license for DC Collector is up for their license expire, and then Hasbro has the Marvel Legends and the Star Wars. Overall, they have the collectors, they have the Black Series, they have the Vintage. Those are going to be up for grabs. So what really interesting is what's going to happen now. If nothing changes, it just stays the same. Let's think about something. What if McFarlane gets Marvel? They're already doing Marvel statues. So is that like a prelude to what could be coming? Something that's not been officially announced? Hasbro has pulled back on Marvel products. If you remember the last convention we just got there's no HasLab for Marvel Legends. We did get a pre-order for a new classic cartoon version of the Sentinel that's not a HasLab. There's no new figures that were shown, just the X-Men 97 stuff. So it's curious. Now, is it because they didn't want to put any HasLab out to go up against the Ghostbuster HasLab? And then, collectors have to choose? Because collectors today have changed. We all collect more than one thing. So this makes it very interesting. So what happens if Hasbro loses Marvel but gets DC? What's going to be very cool about that is, in my opinion, I don't collect a whole lot of DC because of the size. Now I have Spawn here representing McFarlane. So if Hasbro would get the DC line, we could get Section's line of toys that could go in perfectly with our Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series, G.I. Joe Classified, however you want to run your universe. And then we could definitely get a shake-up for Marvel if McFarlane gets Marvel Legends, because we'll be going more likely to 7-inch figures. So if you've been collecting a lot of DC, you have no Marvel, that's because they're 6-inch, and then McFarlane makes 7-inch figures, well, there you go. And then if Hasbro gets DC, they can make 6-inch figures, and there you go. So it's kind of like an interesting scenario. And then we have Star Wars. Now, Star Wars, in my opinion, and a lot of people are saying it's been, going downhill. You can see with some of the offerings that they do have, it's not very much. The HasLabs are struggling. The stuff on the shelves is just sitting forever. Stuff's not making it out, in good distribution unless you buy it online. And then there's also the options that Hasbro and McFarlane lose out. We do a company like Jazzwares gets, a brand. What about like Mattel? Would you want Mattel to grab the DC, the Marvel, or the Star Wars and make their own interpretation of action figures? What happens to those small, awesome companies like, Jada Toys? Might get something. But to my current knowledge, it's not as easy as people think. So even if you have a brand, so Marvel and Star Wars is by Hasbro, and then DC is Marvel. So they don't just automatically have like first dibs to the brand because they currently had it or previously had it. I guess they have to put on a presentation. It takes a lot of money up front to get that, to obtain those licenses. And from my experience and what I've heard is, they can pony up, $250,000 up front during their presentation. If they're awarded it, could be a bidding war. Whoever offers the most profit revenue for those brands, more likely will get it. So we both know both companies are running good. I mean, there's some amazing figures from Marvel and from DC, from McFarlane. So 2025 is going to be super interesting with just that alone. So let me know in the comments what you think. Would you like to see the brands stay the same? Would you like to see the brands change hands? We also have the upcoming little subjects in the recreation of the Mask original figures. That is something I'm very much looking forward to. I cannot wait to see some product images of that. I think Hasbro has dropped the ball on Mask. They could put out G.I. Joe Classified series of Mask and HasLabs for the Rhino, for example. They can make a bunch of money. Also, in the brands, I've heard that there are different types of licensing. You can get collector license, you can get kid license, and probably a much different type of license you can get. So there's a bidding war has begun here in 2025. So it's going to be interesting to keep an eye out on what we're going to get in the near future. Alright, so since we talked about that, let's start taking a look at my pickups. So out in the wild this week, Target has been pretty dry. All my Targets, is at least 4 of them within a drivable range of my home. And for the last 6 months, it's been very bare. I've seen the Beachheads on G.I. Joe Classified. And then before I take away the Spawn figure, they've had these Spawn figures at Target finally. I helped my friend find this particular Spawn. It looks like the tactical Spawn. It has a higher case count than the classic Spawn. Every one time I find them, it seems like there might be 4 per case. I don't know for sure. But there's always 3 tactical Spawns and 1 classic Spawn here in front of you. So keep that in mind if it helps you at all. But in Target, the Spawns are in the toy department, not in a collector section. Then in Walmart, they're in an electronics collector section, not in the toy department. So that's some information for you guys to keep in mind if you are looking for these figures still. So for my pickups from Walmart, I am finding a Donatello. If you remember from the previous episode, for $15. I really didn't want to go on this rabbit hole, but I kind of am now, apparently, and it's probably going to hurt a little bit finding all these pieces now for my collection. But I do like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, but with everything else coming out, you got to pick and choose. You can't buy everything, unfortunately. But I was at a Walmart, and me and my friend were hunting, and we were talking about this particular subject, and I found this Splinter from The Last Ronin. It was like $34.95, and he was telling me that it's the only one I've seen in a long time, but he was telling me that they are now going for over $60 on Amazon and even more on eBay. So I probably should have grabbed this now if I am going to take a look at getting into this line and trying to find some of the older characters, which I've seen on clearance before but passed. But this is a badass looking Splinter. I do like this very much. So one of the ones I thought were very cool. I love how this looks. It gives him maybe more of a sleek look. It looks very cool. So yeah. So I grabbed him to just save myself the headache of paying, a higher premium online. Next up in the electronics collectors department, I found the SH Figure Arts Super Saiyan God Goku. So this is now popping up. I've seen them at Target in the past after I purchased it from Walmart, but these are pretty much, heavy in Walmart's collector's department. If you're looking for these, you should have a problem finding them as of this video. Yeah, so he's like $34 and some change. Pretty cool looking figure. I do like the metallic hair. Pretty awesome. I'm kind of staying with Walmart. I got a couple of cars I picked up, some Hot Wheels. I do like this as small as the RX-7. It's got the kind of your Asian print with the police on it. It's got a nice cast. I like the old design of the car. It looks amazing. I grabbed one of these. Got the gold rims. Pretty cool. I'm going to pick up a couple. Pick up this Zamac and the Walmart dump in. Yes, Walmart has a dump in back, and there must be, better than 500 cars in there, and their shelves are full, at least in my area. This says this is new for 2024, but I think I might have this. I'm not totally sure, but I grabbed it anyway. We went for $1.18. This one I know I don't have. This is a new Zamac that I haven't seen before. This is pretty cool. I love supercars, and this is pretty nice. Yeah, just check your Walmart dump ins. You might be able to find these, because there was like maybe 5 or 6 in that bin. I just, as I was going through them, they weren't like limited or one per bin. There was a good 5 in there. All right, so let's get in my big bad toy store pile loot. So I grabbed another one of these Operation Monster Forces. Yes, I am behind on reviews, but again, I work all week. This is my day off. I'm hoping to get to them soon. But these are about $36.99. I grabbed him because he's probably the one out of the 3 bad guys I was interested in the most, because of obviously the color. And I'm definitely going to grab the other 2 here very soon. And then hopefully move into like the leaders, such as Dracula and the Forgotten King. But I highly recommend this line if you guys are, on the fence with them. They're pretty cool figures. Don't forget to check out my review for Declan Van Helsing. It's up. You can see how cool those are, and also see how many accessories you get. It's out of this world what you get for the price. So next up from my pile loot, I picked up the last Ghostbusters figure I needed. This is a slime version, Peter Venkman from the Plasma series. I'm on the fence with the whole Ghostbusters HasLab. I mean, that looks amazing. I ain't gonna lie. It's, when you're looking at $400, and in my opinion, it's quite worth it. You get 2 versions of the Ghostbuster vehicle. You get the 6, 7 figures, and wow, for $400, that's not too bad. And 1/12 scale vehicle, electronics, lights and sounds, incredible stuff. So he was on clearance for like $14, and I have the other 3 I got from Ollie's. So had to complete the collection and grabbed him while he was on sale. Alright, next up from my pile loot, I've been wanting this for a long time, but it's been between $44.99 and $49.99. I'm just like, I don't know, I just don't want to justify the price, but this is the Marvel Legends What If, the Hydra Stomper. I love this because of the green military, and it's kind of just like a spin on this particular armor. I'm a huge Iron Man fan, but when Big Bad Toy Store had this thing for like $28, and this thing's quite large, I snatched up one to see how they were. I watched a few reviews and saying that there's definitely some stability issues in the legs, so I want to check out for myself. But I actually consider picking up another one and use them for like armored troops, just because in your universe you can do what you want. But this is pretty cool. But from the box on the back, it says that instead of Steve Rogers being the first Avenger, he got hurt in this universe, and he now wields Howard Stark's Hydra Stomper armor, and he's pretty much stuck in there, I guess. I didn't watch the show, if there is a show. I'm not totally sure if this is part of that series or not on Disney Plus, but this is a hefty figure. He looks amazing. Well worth $28, considering what we're paying for figures now, between $25 $35. This is definitely a great deal. And my pile loot contained the last wave that we think is the last wave, I should say, of 2024 of G.I. Joe Classified. Here is my Albert Alpine Pine. Interesting figure. Looks pretty cool. I'm not too happy with the head sculpt how it came out, but I'll take a closer look at it once it came out of the box. But this is pretty cool, and Bazooka would be super happy that his best friend's here finally to hang out with. Next up, we have the Version 2 Storm Shadow, which is, controversial because they kind of classified him in a sense. They have that, unique belt around his waist. Everybody's kind of not fond of that because it's not classic. This is a modern take of a classic version. I picked him up. He looks pretty cool. I am a big fan of that particular design, like the version for Snake Eyes. I'm very much looking forward to that. That's going to be a fan favorite. So we'll see what happens, and I'm betting we'll probably eventually anyway get a retro card version, stripped down with maybe some different accessories in the future at least. Next up is the Iron Grenadier. This one was a tough for me. I am an army builder, so I was like, I'm not a fan of the coat for the overall design. I want a more straight up black version of the Iron Grenadier soldier. So I was on the fence. How many do I get? Do I get 1? Do I get 2? Do I get 6? Do I get 10? Wasn't totally sure. So I initially was going to get 6, and I backed down to like 4, and because if they do come out with a retro version of the Iron Grenadier, they can use these maybe for like an officer type, a squad leader type of guy. So I ended up getting me like 4 of these guys. So there's the side of the box. There's the other side of the box. You guys want to see for my basic start out, and then I can always pick up more in the future if that's something I decide to do. But that's pretty cool. I'm good for now on those, and we'll see what happens in 2025. All right, next up we have the Cobra Iron Grenadier Bat. Man, they really love to use their molds for repaints. I'm not a big fan of multiple bat repaints, but man, they've been sucking me into this. I'm basically a big fan of the original bats, black and yellow per se. Then they came out with that Arctic bat with that new Arctic head that you can see here is currently on the figure, and I just think that is an incredible sculpt. So I do have several of the Arctic bats. I think I have 3, and because they are super rare, everybody's wanting them. I think they're still on pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store. For other collectors are still trying to either obtain one or even army build them. So I kind of seen that in advance, and I grabbed 3 because I wanted 1 to have the classic head, and then 2 behind him on my shelf to have the new head. And then at the time I didn't know they were going to repaint it into this Iron Grenadier bat. And with this gold and the metallic paint on this figure and the Iron Grenadier, it was just looked at. It looked pretty amazing. I do think that, we're going to see a classic bat on the retro card. I bet you they're going to give us this particular bat with the red head sculpt that you see there on the side of the other head and a cleared chest cover. And they're going to brighten up that yellow from the, what we're used to seeing from the version 1 bat release of Classified. I definitely foresee that here, probably in 2025. But these look amazing. I kind of have a method in my collecting for my troops. And when you get stuff like this, that's pretty cool. And I just don't want to have, a bunch of just different random bats. So you get 4 or 5 different colored bats. I feel like I got a Power Ranger team, and it's just not me. So I did kind of went the same way I did with my Arctic bats. I got 3, 2 to leave like this, 1 to put the normal head on, just because he looked amazing on the shelf. And here's my other 2. Here's the side of the packaging. This is like 134 in the series. And as you can see here, that head sculpt and those new accessories look amazing. That chainsaw with the black and gold is just insane. I cannot wait for an Iron Grenadier Destro. Maybe we get Iron Grenadier Destro with his spoiler. Won't that be amazing? Even the insignia here looks absolutely beautiful. Let's see where this goes. We definitely know we're getting Darklon, so hopefully we'll get Voltar and a classic version of the Iron Grenadier. That'd be amazing. And there's a bunch of other characters like Ferret. I think it's Ferret, and I can't remember all the other names. I'd have to go back to my collection and take a look. It's been a while since I've looked at those. There hasn't been a whole lot about the Iron Grenadiers in the last few years. So you kind of, to remember all the members, sometimes takes a little bit to think about, which we don't waste too much time doing that now. Now I found something that I've been looking for a long time. This is definitely going to be the highlight of the haul, or even a grail for me, so to speak. Yes, I saved this particular item or figure for this segment because this is something that's been a pain in my butt trying to find. And I think a lot of people are having the same problems because, my friends and fellow collectors are all having a hard time. No one has obtained this. They are going for, better than 60 some dollars on eBay, which was ridiculous. And I am not in a way to, feed that thing that I don't like, such as scalping. So kind of excited for this because this has been something a lot of collectors have been wanting. We finally get one, and it becomes super rare to get, and frustrating. So I'm betting, I don't know, 5 months or so of hunting online and in all the Walmarts. And then just yesterday, Friday, I walked by and I find 2 of these, which is fantastic because I needed to. One for me and one for my friend because he's been looking out. He'd pick up something for me if he found them, but I am stunned. I stood there for a little bit. I was like, what's going on here? I'm not seeing what I think I'm seeing, and it was, and it blew my mind. So here it is. Let's unveil it. Look at that, boys. Not only that, this is a super hard figure to get because NEC had a hard time getting the likeness rights to the actor. And to get this figure out, this is very sought after. This is amazing. The figure just looks absolutely amazing. The packaging is beautiful. I'm probably going to have to do a review for this because it's that cool. So let's take a look at this packaging. Tattoo there on the front. There's foot ninjas there in the back on the sides. Looks very nice. And here's the back of the box. Man, this looks insane. There he is, training the foot ninjas. Some of the options you have. And yes, if you don't know, these are cloth clothes. Now, what's really interesting about this, because what's been irritating me also lately, we haven't talked about, is the price of figures are getting ridiculous. Now, this was like $34.96. This is a premium figure, in my opinion. He has all the soft goods. The articulation, the sculpting is on point. And he's not $120 like Mezco or those other brands I just kind of stay away from because that's just ridiculous. Things are getting ridiculous. If you guys feel like things are getting ridiculous on these prices of some of these figures or other collectibles, don't forget to comment down below. Hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you think. If not, then obviously just don't bother. The side of this has the nice, amazing artwork on it. I love this like metallic type of box. Very cool. Even like Tatsu's print of his name is pretty awesome looking, but pretty basic. But it just pops in my opinion. And just looking at the inside of this box of the artwork, that figure is beautiful. I'm trying to keep a weird angle here because of the glare of the light. But there's that figure. I'm going to do a review for this figure, there's no doubt. But look at that. Just a sneak peek at it. Very, very nice looking figure. Great looking accessories. So I found this on Friday and I got off work. I stopped at Walmart to get some groceries for the weekend. And, took a quick look, met with my friend and afterwards. And I blew his mind when I found this for him. He was just like, you think he got like $1 million. So these have been pretty rough. It's a special kind of feeling that I haven't experienced for a while because of the way things are anymore with collecting, and to be out there hunting in the wild and find something that's just something you want, and the feeling you get of satisfaction, I guess, I don't know, it makes you after a hard day's work, it made your day feel just a little bit better knowing you were going home with something for yourself because you worked all week, and you got something that, for your hobby at least. So, yeah, it was a great time just finding something really cool in the wild. So, all right, so yeah, that's about it for my pickups for myself. Decided I want to do a little bit of bonus content for you guys if you're still watching. We talk about ollies in every video. So ollies, as for me as a collector, has been dead for probably about 4 weeks or so. I have found nothing new and exciting. Usually at a discount price. So, but I did notice that a lot of the toys are going down this time of year. Usually they're packed with toys. They're consistently getting stuff in like every week. Usually find something, but it's not like that anymore for some reason. I checked out Ross's too as we're discussing this, and they didn't have a whole lot of anything either. A lot of just like girl dolls. I've seen a couple little subjects, Ninja Turtles that were from the very first wave. Those really bright green turtles. They're about $9.99. But other than that, I didn't see any of the DC McFarlane figures. No G.I. Joes, nothing. But just to share with you guys, if you're interested in some bonus content, I did pick a few things up at Ollie's for my son. Now, this is kind of like a tip and trick, I guess, if you want to call it that. Now, you can get a membership with Ollie's, and you as you buy stuff, you earn points, and they send you these 10% coupons off, 15% coupons off. See if I have one here. I kind of have this one here. So, it's kind of a heads up too. So, I had a coupon, and it was attached to this. I cut it off. It was for 15% off. So there was a couple things I got for my son for Christmas. I'll show you those because I think it's worth mentioning. If you do have a little collector that likes any of this stuff, then you might want to take a look at this. So, if you want to sign up for this, you can. I used the coupon for 50% off. And then on Sunday, December 15th, 2024, from 6 o'clock p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, you can get 25% off all toys and Christmas deco. So if there's something in there you're kind of holding out for and you want to get 25% off, and you remember, because they actually look for your card when you come in the door. Only members allowed in after 6 o'clock apparently. And as you can see across the top, that's something that you can save. But it's going to be free game for whatever's left. Which in my opinion, I mean, some of the Marvel Legend figures I may pick up. I kind of passed on, like maybe like the Wakanda figures. Maybe I might pick up some of those, but unless something pops up. But I literally got notification from a buddy of mine that there was a couple things that popped up in their flyer, which I'm going to show you. So the 3 things I got from my son, I'll show you two, but you guys can't tell him. And I'll tell you that I got 15% off these relatively nice items. And I tell you what, I come out at about $50, and I got 3 huge items that blew my mind. So let me go ahead and show this to you now. All right, first up was this Marvel Superheroes Adventure minifigures. I picked him up a set for his birthday, and it had like maybe 6 of them in. And there's only like 3 carryover figures in the set, which is the Iron Man, the Hawkeye, and the Captain America. But the Iron Man is a different color, different mock. And then Captain America is more classic in his version. So, but you do get the Hulk, Black Widow, Nick Fury, Ultron, and you can get Thor and Vision. Pretty cool. Now, this thing's pretty big. So kind of all the figures you get. Now, this is pretty hefty price, probably at Walmart. So this in a paper was about I think it was $15.99. What's that tour? $15.99. I got 15% off, so that thing was like $13 or something. 13 something with the tax and stuff. So this is a pretty cool item. I mean, this is Not a bad deal for these. I mean, you can't get a Star Wars vintage figure for that price anymore, and you get all this for the same price. Pretty good deal. Now, when I seen this, it kind of blew my mind because I bought him a tire. It's like, so you buy experiences for the kids, and I bought him this tire that has monster trucks in it and some other stuff. But usually these things I'm going to show you here are very expensive. So they had these dinosaur heads in an Ollie's for $19.99. And I was assuming, oh, these are very small. Right, so these are not very small. These are actually very massive. You get over 50 pieces in this thing. You get these two dinos that do battle. Pretty cool, right? And I thought, because usually these are like, $20 for the small ones. These are the $50 ones for $19.99. And I ended up getting this for like $16 plus, so pretty cool. And then if you want to buy something for your child for Christmas or an experience, it's even got electronics in it.
And battle, a dinosaur adventure. Unbox and battle, a dinosaur
See that the eye is electronic. It does have different colors. It has this is Zulu Smashers Dino Island T-Rex battle. Pretty cool. I can show you. You get all this stuff plus more. Very nice. Then you have like the top of this has like another dinosaur head sticking out of it.
And battle, a dinosaur adventure.
There's like the price of it. With that discount, made it a hell of a deal. Now, if you guys don't care about discounts, I'm sorry if you don't like that, but this is it, buddy. This is a hell of a deal for $50. Now to kind of give you an idea how big this thing is, this Hulkbuster Iron Man is not small. And here he is next to that head. This is huge. Check your Ollies. This is something your boy or daughter likes, or even yourself. Be great experiencing to sit down on Christmas Day, spend some time with your little collector, and have some fun and build a dinosaur, have some battles. Hopefully you don't get play sand and slime everywhere, but it's Christmas, so be a little bit lenient. So the last thing I picked up for him was this WWE truck. He's not a wrestling fan. He doesn't even probably know what wrestling is besides when he beats me up. But these were like $24.99. I got 15% off of that, so I got just about $20. The reason I bought this for him because he's been asking for some G.I. Joe classified vehicles that cost, obviously, if you're a collector, $99.99 for a Vamp or a Stinger. And as a parent, I don't think I'm going to hand my 4-year-old a $100 Stinger or Vamp, or even let alone a HasLab. But this is a great way to put something in his hands so he could take his G.I. Joe classified and drive him around in his missions and smash some Cobras with a wrecking ball. Pretty cool little truck. These were in Ollie's for a while. Had my own at $24.99. Got the 15% off. I was like, you know what? I'm going to use my coupon. I got to get the most out of it. So I got his 3 big things for him for Christmas. He loves trucks, obviously. He's a big Paw Patrol fan, monster trucks, dinosaurs, and action figures. He's a born 4-year-old collector. He likes a lot of stuff like his dad. So as collectors, we have more than one thing that we collect now. We're not just pretty much stationary in the one brand. We kind of just go ahead and get what we like and kind of. This is a great deal. I think this thing was like $50 at one time, but he can have loads of fun with this, with any of his collection. Pretty cool. Alright guys, so yeah, that's about it. This is getting just too long. I told you guys this was going to be a hefty one. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys found some value in this video. If you did, I appreciate a thumbs up and a like, and if you can, subscribe. That'd be great. It'd be great Christmas present to me if you can just hit that subscribe button. That'd be awesome. Let me know what you guys think about everything we talked about, and we'll see you in our next review. I'm not going to probably see you next Saturday is past Thanksgiving, so I want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. Spend some time with your family, regardless if that's playing with figures or not. But the holidays are for family. Try not to work on the holidays if you don't have to. And enjoy. Happy holidays, and we'll see you soon.